Everything you need to know about the Mississippi State Bulldogs, because there's Sly Croom at SEC Media Day.
For the national championship.
To your right in the middle.
You had several close games last year. Does that give you any concern about whether or not you can replicate that success this year?
Well, we had several close games the year before and we lost them. Last year we had those same several close games. We won them. This is the Southeastern Conference. They're going to be close. You know, the blowouts of, back when I was playing in Alabama, the game over at the halftime, 35-0, you sit over there and drink water and eat popcorn the rest of the game. Those days are over. Games are going to be decided probably by 7 points or less, and it's going to come down to somebody doing something right or wrong at the end of the game. And that's just the way it is. And, it's, not going to be in the celebrations and taking your best people out in that first drive in the third quarter. Not in the SEC competition. That's not happening anymore.
In the middle, all the way in the back.
Coach, as you enter another year, I know you spoke last year. After last year's season, you said that you thought the program may be a little ahead of schedule. Can you just talk about where the program has been, where it is now, where you still hope to take it, and if you could comment on Jamar Chaney and the impact he'll make on your defense?
We did some good things last year, but from the day that I see Larry Temple was back there, he was probably the only other than those players at our first meeting. We established that day that our goal was to win the conference championship. I told those players at the first meeting that they would not be around when that happened because it was going to be somewhere down the road in the future. And I know a lot of people had made mention, that's ridiculous to say that. Well, they give a championship trophy. We play in the Southeastern Conference. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't want to compete and shouldn't work toward competing to get that done. Because why else do you play the game other than to win it all? I think we have a chance to do that this year. I don't know if we're good enough, but I know this is that every year prior to now, we have played as good as we could play. When I sit back and look at our team, we have played as good as we can play. But our goal is to win the conference championship. Again, I want us to play as good as we can play, to be the best we can be. I don't know any other way to be the best you can be unless you try to be the best. And to be the best in this conference, it means you've got to go to Atlanta and win the conference championship. And that's what we're going to try to do. Whether we make it or not, I don't know. At the end, we may not be good enough, but that's what we're going to try to do.
Straight in front of you.
Coaches in the SEC now are pretty well taken care of financially. I just want to know if you have an appreciation for maybe the early stages of your coaching career and maybe how humble those beginnings were compared to now.
Well, I'm very thankful for all I've been blessed with. Very thankful. I'm like a lot of our coaches in the conference. This year I've got a new contract. Mississippi State was very generous to me, and I'm very appreciative of it. And yes, I definitely do remember the days when I was broke.
Dead ball.
People say, I had a guy ask me the other day, well, Coach, you've always done well. No, I know what it's like to be worried about where your paycheck comes. And a lot of people in our country are in that situation now. I've been looking for a job. I got hired on a Monday, and my last paycheck was coming on Friday. I've been there, done that. I've had to raid my daughter's college fund in order to pay the bills and nothing else be left. I know what that feels like. And I'm very thankful to not have to worry about it. I'm blessed now. I don't have to worry about those things right now. And it's not because of anything that I've done. I'm just fortunate to have been in the right place at the right time, and the good Lord just seen fit to allow me to be the recipient of some of the good things of life, and I don't take that for granted. My wife and I were just thinking of all the things that we've been through. And over the years, the tough times and all the financial things that we've been through, and yet, our lifestyle really hadn't changed. Of course, the biggest thing is I don't have to worry about paying my bills. I don't think any head coach in the Southeastern Conference does. I can say that without hesitation. Yes, I'm very fortunate, but it's never been about the money. I coached at Alabama for 10 years. Started with a salary of $14,000 and only got a $2,000 raise. I coached the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for 5 years. In the 5th year, my take-home pay was lower than it was the first year that I got there. It was the love of the game. That's the only reason I still do it now, the love of the game. One of these days, I'm going to walk away from it. And the money's still going to be there, but when I'm going to get, there's going to come a point, and I'll know when that time comes, when I'm going to have to walk away. Nothing lasts forever. But right now, I'm enjoying it. I'm very blessed to be coaching at Mississippi State. I'm financially blessed. I'm around good people. I enjoy going to work every day. And that's the greatest blessing that I have right now. I love going to work. And as long as I enjoy that, I'll keep doing it. When I get to where I hate to, I won't go to work where I hate to get up and go to work. I'll never do that again another day in my life.
All the way in the back.
Coach, I was just wondering if you could explain. It seems like over the past 15 to 20 years, the importance of the left tackle position has increased fairly dramatically. Do you view it, first of all, as the most important position on the offensive line? And then secondly, how do you view Derek Sherrod individually in replacing Mike Brown?
I can't believe you asked that question to a former center. There ain't no doubt that the center is the most important guy in the offensive line. Always has been, always will be. The left tackle is the second most important guy in the offensive line. So let's make sure we're clear on that. Yeah, it's really important. And we've got two new guys there, J.C. Brignone and Derek Sherrod. Now, they're new guys. But let me tell you something. If I got to go to battle, I want those two guys going with me. Derek Sherrod played almost 300 snaps last year as a true freshman. Probably the next greatest story other than West for us. He never started a game because we had J.D. Hamilton there, but Derek graded 79% for the entire year, played almost 300 snaps as a true freshman. We hadn't had a senior in front of him that I had a great deal of respect for. He probably would have been the starter last year, but I had a great deal of respect for J.D. J.C. Brignone is one of the toughest, strongest guys I know. Tough not only physically, but tough mentally. J.C. lost his dad in the spring, who was his closest friend. And, missed about a week of practice, took care of all the family business, and basically was the host and the coordinator of his dad's wake. And to sit there and watch him do that, even though he missed a week of spring practice, I knew he was going to be our center. Because the mental toughness that he displayed, it'll overcome everything else that he's got to do at center. If he's that mentally tough, he'll be fine there. I have no questions about him. So even though those guys haven't been true starters, I trust them and I'll put it in their hands. We'll be all right with those two guys.
To your left.